Hi, this is Nick from Talia, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour, your source for all hard rock, heavy metal, new metal, alternative, punk, horror punk, hardcore, rock, and all local bands, with your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather. As always, I'm bringing you guys awesome interviews, and today is an honor and a privilege to have the vocalist and guitarist of Talia on the phone with me right now, Mr. Nick Costa. Going to be talking to him about their fourth EP, Let Sleeping Dogs Lie, out on via Pavement Entertainment, and that's out now, and we're going to be talking to him about that. So, Nick, how's it going, my man?
I'm fine. How are you?
Doing awesome, Glad to have you on the show.
Me too.
Let's jump right into this. What's impressed you the most about making the new EP, Let Sleeping Dogs Lie? What's caught your eye about, if anything, possibly?
It was first. It was recorded with Steve Albini, and I'm a real fan of his work. I've been listening to Nirvana and PJ Harvey, a lot of artists, that he has he's recorded. So we went to Chicago. We flew to Chicago to make the record. Took us like 5 days. We worked on analog tape, which I'd never done before. It was always, Pro Tools and digital stuff. So that was really kind of impressive, to meet him and work with him. And we had to go fast, not a lot of overdubs, that kind of stuff. And to be in his studio, that it's kind of mythical.
Oh yeah.
It was really quite a journey, and it was quite something, really.
Working with analog tape like that, is it the first time you guys have done that before?
Yeah. I've never, when we started the band, Pro Tools was getting really big, and everybody was on Pro Tools because it was cheaper. So, but for once, I wanted to try, and less cheating, because you cannot really edit on. I mean, you can edit on tape, but not the way you can do with Pro Tools, which is a big circus. I mean, you can actually on Pro Tools you can actually make a really crappy band sound like like they play really well. On tape you can't really cheat. So
yeah.
So I wanted to see and hear what the band really sounded like without all the Pro Tools circus.
Yeah, and when you use analog tape like that, when you mess up, you've got to cut that out and do a retake of it. So could you tell the difference in between recording this way on analog, how much the sound was totally different than, as far as working with Pro Tools and things like that?
Well, the sound is different more because it's Steve's technique, the way he puts the mic, around the drums and the guitars and everything, and the gear he has. That affects the sound quite much. What's really different, with analog tape is that on Pro Tools you can always fuck up somehow.
Right.
Everything is kind of you can edit almost anything, but on tape the band has to rehearse a lot. We rehearsed a lot, really, before going there, because you have to be really tight. And Steve doesn't like to do a lot of overdub and a lot of production and everything. He likes to keep things really simple. So the band's got to be really tight, straightforward, and so you have to work a lot before recording. On Pro Tools you can just basically go record and then edit a lot of stuff, and it doesn't really sound like the band anymore. Mm-hmm. So it's closer to reality, really, working on tape.
Working with Steve Albini on this, did he push you guys, or did he just let you guys go, on your way and then step in when he needed to? How was work with him on this, actually?
No, he lets you do whatever you have to do. Sometimes, when there's something really fishy, he tells you, you should redo that. But no, basically his way of doing things is, letting you do your stuff, trying to give you the best sound as possible, and make you sound like the band sounds kind of live, or giving you the real, not it tries not to interfere too much.
Now,
That's pretty cool.
I know there's several songs on an EP, but are there any songs off this EP, Let Sleeping Dogs Lie, that stand out more to you? Possibly, maybe. I know it's like picking your favorite collectible or favorite child. I know these change from day to day, but are there any that stick out for you right now? Possibly.
The single, kind of, more radio friendly, let's say, is the first one it's called Afraid of Heights. I wrote it in LA 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago when we did the first time we played LA. We played the Whiskey A Go-Go, and then, a couple of days later, I woke up in the middle of the night, took my guitar and started writing it. I think it's the most radio friendly. My favorite would be, I think now, the last one on the EP. It's called In the Evening. It's a song that I started to write years, really, long time ago. Mm-hmm. And it was quite different. And I, kind of redid it, rewrote it. And it's cool to play live. And a lot of people, friends and fans who have listened to the record usually picks it up as their favorite, that song.
So it's fair to say that a lot of these songs are old songs are now getting to see the light of day, correct?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, the most recent one is the song called Wreckage that I wrote probably 6 months ago or something. Mm-hmm. But yeah, all the other ones are kind of not really old, but
right.
But yeah, definitely.
You worked on this EP while flying back and forth from LA to Paris. Was this a little difficult, or no, or just comes with territory?
Not really. It was actually, coming to America, playing the Whiskey, and then coming back to Paris, and then going back to LA again to play Viper. Then we played in San Francisco, and gave me a lot of ideas, really. So that's why I kind of, they're old. Some of them are old songs, but I really worked, on them and kind of rewrote them in a way, So it gave me a lot of ideas, actually. Traveling and everything.
Nick, do you do anything differently during the writing and recording process to help, keep your mind fresh and open to not let the music get stale and not go down a path that you did before that you didn't like? What helps you to do that, or do you do anything differently at all?
Well, yeah, it's our fourth record. So the first one was, I didn't really know what I was doing, to be honest with you. So, it came up the way it came up. I'm not really happy with it. It was a long time ago. It was like 10 years ago. Then on the second one, I tried to put some samples and synths. I mean, very few, but still. And the production was bigger. I kind of laid down a lot of guitar tracks and, overdubs and everything. And then after, when I listened to it, I'm not really happy with that one either, because I think it's overproduced. So on the third record that was released like 2-3 years ago, mm-hmm. I was going for more, something that was kind of raw, more natural, let's say, mm-hmm. more powerful and more natural. And so the next step was going analog, full analog, and hiring Steve Albini. So yeah, each one is different. But I think that the goal is to sound as natural as possible. Really, I'm done with producing records. All this stuff.
What can fans expect at a show from Talia who have not got to see you guys play live as of yet?
Wow. It actually depends, what mood I am in. Usually, I don't know. Usually, people really like it or really hate it.
Yeah.
you don't really get bored at one of our, because sometimes I'm in a really pissy mood, so I don't talk. It's obvious that I'm not happy to be there. And some other times I really have fun, and I mean I'm talking for myself because I can't really talk for the other members of the band, but to me, yeah, that's what you can expect from me. I can't really judge the whole band, but I can kind of tell you how I feel somehow.
Now, since you had a taste of the analog side, we're living in the digital era of recording albums and plus social media to get music out quicker and reach more fans. Do you like this that we're in right now to get albums out and plus social media to reach even more fans for you guys?
I think there's ups and downs really. Cool side is that the cool thing with all the social media and everything is that you can have more control over what you're doing. Is you don't need a record company now, a record label to make a record and sell it to people and and having people listen to it. So that's kind of nice. The downside is that you don't earn a lot of money now, like you used to, 20 years ago or something. And it's harder and harder to, I mean, you got to have a day job and everything. It has made some things harder and some other, easier. So it's hard to say really, but what you can say is that anyway, you have to, it's something you have to live with, really. There's no turning back, I think. You can still record analog and, and have a cool sound and everything, but you can't, I mean, I can't imagine a band that's not on Facebook or that doesn't have a website or whatever, I mean, there probably are, but I wouldn't do it, you have to live with it. So it's not much we can do. I mean, I'm 42, so I knew I was in a band way before internet and all the cell phones and all the social media and everything. So I remember how it was. I mean, I was in high school and everything, but I can't say that I really liked it more back then. I liked the music, I liked the bands better, back then because Nirvana was still around and and a lot of other 90s bands. So yeah, I like the music better, but that's for sure.
In your own opinion, what does Talia bring to the table for music that's not out there as of right now?
Wow. Wow, that's a tough one. Honestly, I can't tell you. We're trying the best we can to, make good music and we're playing a sort of a, the thing is with us is that we're not punk enough for the punk rockers, but we're too sloppy for people who like shredders and all the good, really good guitar players. So it's hard to define, really. It's hard to say. I don't know, really. I think what people like, what people tell us is that they like the melodies and the songs. They like the way we write songs because they're like, basically pop songs, but played with, loud guitars and some guy screaming on the mic and a drummer that's pounding. That's pretty much, all I can tell you is that people like us. Yeah, because the first thing is the songs. The main thing is the songs, really. Some will say they like the drums. Some will say they like the singers. Some will say they hate the singer. But usually, people like the songs. I think it's what we got. That's the best, our songs.
Support wise, is there a location or a region or country that stands out to you that even surprises you that you guys get support from?
Yeah, America. Yeah, because we're French, and I never thought, that I've been in this band for quite a long time now, and we never really made it in France, to be honest with you. We did a couple, a few cool things. We opened for Reverend Horton Heat. Mm-hmm. It's a really cool band. I mean, their music has nothing to do with ours, really, but somehow we managed to open for them and to be opening act for them. And it was really, really cool, to meet the guys and to see them live and play on the big stage with them. We played with Nashville Pussy too. It was really, really cool. So we did some cool, things like that, but we're not really. I mean, in France, we used to playing in front of like 15 people, my mom and two drunks, whatever. Yeah, a lot of, you wouldn't believe, the venues we play sometimes in France. It's wow.
Yeah.
Compared to America, we played the Whiskey Go-Go, we played Viper. We're gone on tour with Smile Empty Soul, and Thaw and Eve to Adam Kalido, and we're gonna play. Kind of large venues, at least for us, because it's going to be like 500 seaters, 700 seaters sometimes. So it's going to be big, and it's going to be every day. So it's totally new world, totally new, new thing for us. So yeah, definitely America, yeah.
But that's really cool that Reverend Horton Heat, you got to play with those guys because they're rockabilly. And yeah, you're right. The two band's music is totally opposite of the realm, but that's cool though.
Yeah, somehow. And we talked with Jimbo, the bass player, the double bass player, and he told us he really liked the show, and he took one of our CDs and whatever, and he was a really cool guy. So yeah, and the show was great. I mean, it was one of the greatest, one of the greatest shows we've ever played. It was 3 years ago already, but it was in my hometown in Paris. My parents were there, and everybody was really proud of me because obviously it was kind of a big thing. So
for sure,
it's a day I remember for the rest of my life. Like the time we played the Whiskey Go-Go for the first time with Soul Asylum. That was that's a band that I was listening to when I was like 18. I was a real fan of that band. So I met David Perner. I was like, wow.
Yeah,
and he's huge, man. I thought he was like me, like 5'9" or 5'10" or something. He's a really big fucking guy, really cool guy, but he's big, man. I didn't think he was that big.
What made you want to become a musician? What was that spark for you that said, yeah, that's what I want to do right there?
Well, my dad is a musician. My uncle too. My cousins are singers too. Everybody in the family is musicians. So I kind of was born into it, really. What got me into rock and roll were my cousins, because they were older than me, and they had all these posters, from Iron Maiden, and Def Leppard, at that time, and in the mid 80s, was a big thing, the new wave of British heavy metal, and so I got into my cousin's room and I saw all these, and I was 10, and I remember, when you're 10, your mom picks up your clothes for you, and sends you to gives you, like dorky haircuts and everything. And it was the opposite of what I looked like at that time, And I said to myself, wow, I want to look like that. I want to have long hair. I want to wear leather. I want to, play guitar and shit. And so I got into rock and roll without even knowing what it was. I mean, without hearing the music. I had no idea what the music was. And so I listened to Iron Maiden and I liked it. And so then I said to myself, okay, when I grow up, I want to be in a band. I was 10.
Folks, Talia's new EP, their fourth EP, Let Sleeping Dogs Lie, is out right now via Pavement Entertainment. And you want to pick this up. Nick, how can folks stay in touch with you guys, buy some merchandise, this EP, other EPs, tour dates, tickets? How can they do that, my friend?
They can go to our Facebook, facebook.com/Talia Rock. They can find us on iTunes, the EPs on it, the previous records on it too, and on Amazon, and pretty much Deezer, pretty much any digital platform. And soon you'll be able to buy the CD on our website, but it's not. It hasn't been manufactured right now, but you can buy it. Yeah, you can buy it digitally.
Before I let you go, good sir, would you care to do a promo for the show?
Hi, this is Nick from Talia, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Everybody stick around. We got some great music coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and BODS Mayhem Radio Network. Thanks, Nick, so much.
Thanks, John. Really appreciate it.
That's when I take my